What's up, friends? Wednesday edition of Rock Chalk Sports here at the Kansas Nation studio. Thanks to everybody listening over on ESPN Kansas City and watching kansasnation.com. Thanks to all of you watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube as well. Behind the cameras today is Elijah Schmidt. Alongside Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman. Thanks for joining us, as always, as we itch closer. Is that the right word? We're itching to get closer?
Inch. Like an inchworm.
Eek closer.
Like an inch, not itch.
Two.
Inch closer to things.
Friday night football. I actually kind of like the Friday night openers. I know most people hate them.
Friday Night Lights, man.
I get it. I mean, I know
Shout out
high school football. Shout out to Kyle Chandler. That is a great show.
It's a great show.
Shout out to Connie Britton, by the way.
Connie Britton, my goodness.
Yes, and
but Jesse Plemons, you kidding me?
You're going to Jesse Plemons before you're going to Minka Kelly? Are you crazy?
Sure. I like Jesse Plemons.
Oh man, Friday Night Lights, great show. Anyway, Friday night, the first couple games for KU football are on Friday, 7 p.m. kickoff for both of them. One is against Long Island, and the other is against the visitors from Columbia. So we'll see how Kansas does, but, man, we are just ready to get the ball kicked off and see this new group of Jayhawks. We're going to hear from a couple of those Jayhawks here in the opening segment, Dylan Edwards and Yasin Willis. KU Football Media Day was last week, and we got all sorts of coverage. Dan and I actually each had conversations with each of those running backs, Edwards and Willis, who are both named to the Doak Walker Award preseason watch list. And we played a couple of those last week, but we've got some fresh content for you from those guys today. You'll hear here in this opening segment on Rock Chalk Sports. Next segment, we're going to hear from Matt Lubick, an interesting guy and an exceptional mind. Matt Lubick coaching the KU tight ends this year. Of course, he's done a lot of analytical work for Kansas football in the past. He was pivotal to Kansas offense, having so much success during the first tenure of Andy Kotelnicki, and he'll talk about the tight ends a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and obviously with a really deep tight end room that you have right now, he's got a, like you said, a brilliant mind. I think whenever it comes to football, that's just a true, like, that guy eats, breathes, thinks all day about football, and it's so cool to kind of listen to him. And, you know, like you said, he did a lot of analytical stuff, and he was really instrumental in kind of putting into in the option that we saw so much of Jalen Daniels, at least for, you know, a good part of his career. You know, he didn't see it as much last year. You probably wanted to see more of it. But, you know, again, I think with what he's able to do with the tight ends, matched with Andy Kotelnicki and the way that he runs his style of offense, with the way that you have two running backs and both of them work a lot on the option stuff, I think you're going to see, you know, Matt Lubick's fingerprints all over this offense. Yeah,
more on that here very shortly, but it is kind of cool. I don't know. I think we take a lot of pride in the fact that, you know, Kotelnicki went to Penn State and Lubick went to Nevada, where he was the offensive coordinator for a season, but we take a lot of pride in the fact that those guys came back to Kansas. They had reason to come back. Shout out to Coach Leipold and the culture that they have here. But, yeah, Lubick, when he was here as a senior offensive analyst, 22-23, when Kansas went to back-to-back bowl games. 2023, KU ranked inside the top 25 in rushing offense. They were 8th in the country. Scoring offense, 17th. Total offense, 21st. And team passing efficiency, 7th. How about that? 2023, Matt Lubick returns again, co-offensive coordinator and in charge of the tight ends. He'll speak on Carson Brune and other tight ends in that room next segment. Following that, little update on the thing that we opened the show with yesterday. Dan, I think we're both kind of relieved in how the day played out yesterday. It played out as we had hoped when the first domino fell. Big Ten saying, hey, if you go to the NFL as a player, you can't come back. And now the conferences, the power conferences, seem to be aligned on that front. So we'll update you on that.
Yeah, all the conferences have come out saying that, hey, they're actually going to put rules in place for professional athletes to not come back to college, essentially, which is, again, a good step forward, obviously, in this new world where everything could get really, really nasty and dirty and bad and terrible, and everyone loves to complain about how terrible college athletics is right now. It's like they're trying to fix it right now, and this is at a conference level, which I think is really important to note. Even the SEC is involved, and we all know the SEC is the most corrupt bunch of people that there is. Even the SEC is like, all right, this is bad. Like, we get it. So, yeah, we'll kind of update you on that. Just a new update from what happened yesterday, and now it's all kind of coming to fruition.
Yeah, it is. So keep you updated on that, as Dan said. KU Mailbag segment, I'm always excited for this. We've got some questions coming in from not just Hunter and Cole, but Ed and Garrett as well.
Yeah.
Thanks
Keegan?
to everybody who has sent in some questions. Keegan, wow.
Shout out to Keegan.
Man.
Friend of the show.
He's alive.
He is. Man, he hasn't sent in a mailbag question in a while, so that was fun. Yeah, no, we got a lot of good stuff. We have a question about tools.
Yeah. Not people tools. But
no, not people tools.
Yeah.
Tools like
nobody
actual,
who sent in a question is a
actual
tool.
tools.
Remember when that was a thing? Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, this.
So how old would you have been when that was a thing? Like 4th grade, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've used that like this past week. I called someone
describing
a tool.
somebody.
Yeah. I won't say who, but yeah. No, it's. I don't know. Got a lot of football questions on here. Got a question about Dolly.
Ah, man.
It's tough.
Shout out. Yeah, definitely tough. I know that's.
What's your? All right, I'll ask. Questions. What's your favorite Dolly Parton song? But
Okay.
we'll figure it out. Well,
my,
give you
my
time
bride,
to stew.
a big Dolly fan. She was in her feelings
Same.
a little bit, but yeah, she did a lot. Not just for country music, and she did everything. I mean, she did some acting.
Yeah.
Country music.
She was the Hannah Montana. She was an actor. in
Yeah.
Hannah Montana.
But also, I don't know. This is a fun fact. Her organization, I don't really know how it works, but my toddler receives books from Dolly Parton. Are you familiar with that?
My nephews do.
Okay.
My nephews get books from Dolly Parton. You got
Oh my
books from
gosh.
That's been going on
Elijah
for a
did
while.
too. So yeah, so amazing. I got to look more into it. I mean, it just arrives and Caitlin and Ava talk about it. But Ava said last night, because she had received a book earlier in the week, and Caitlin, meanwhile, is like scrolling her phone, like being sad about
Right.
Dolly. Ava said, "Oh yeah, and I got a book from my best friend Dolly."
Oh.
So I know. So she did a lot, and yeah, I mean, providing books for kids. I mean, you can't beat that. So anyway, after KU Mailbag segment, going to hear from a trio of Jayhawks, the law firm. The law firm that no one knew they needed. Cam Pickett, Nick Morrow, and Chase Jenkins. We spoke to all of them at the KU Football Media Day.
Morrow, Pickett, and Jenkins.
Yeah, you got to end with Jenkins, right?
Pickett, Morrow, and Jenkins. I think Morrow, Pickett, and Jenkins is the law firm name.
All right, that's fair enough. Cam Pickett, Nick Morrow, Chase Jenkins, they spoke at KU Football Media Day. Dan caught up with Pickett. I was able to get some sound from Nick Morrow and Chase Jenkins. Chase Jenkins, easy to talk to, man. He's a fun guy, and of course, he's going to bring a lot to this team. We're going to see him on the field, not just against Long Island. I think we're going to see Chase Jenkins in addition to the other two QBs that we like a lot. We're going to close out the show talking a little KU baseball, KU softball. As the schedules has been released, we've been knee deep in KU football. We haven't spoken as much about this. Of course, we mentioned KU baseball. They're playing at the Field of Dreams this fall, but the spring schedules have been released for baseball and softball, so we'll update you on that if you haven't seen the information on that front. Dan, over in your neck of the woods, Miles Schneier and his team do great work at Crown Automotive, our founding partners here at Kansas Nation.
You have the best and friendliest sales staff around. They're not going to give you the runaround. They're not going to try to put you in some lemon of a car that they're just trying to get off the lot. They're going to get you in the car that fits your lifestyle. I implore you to check them out. CrownAutomotive.com, CrownMotorsVW.com. If you're in the market for a new or used car, they have a whole line of new Toyotas and Volkswagens, Tiguans, Tauses, Jettas, Camrys, Corollas, 4Runners, RAV4s, Tacomas, Tundras, you name it, they've got it. They even have those VW like new electric buses that are so cool. There's somebody on my street who actually has one right now, and it's every time she pulls out of her driveway, we're just like, nice. I think her name's Vicky or something. I think it's Vicky. Nice lady. But yeah, she got it over at Crown Automotive, and she absolutely loves it. All led by the 2025 Lawrence Citizen of the Year, Miles Schneier. So please be sure to go check them out, CrownAutomotive.com or CrownMotorsVW.com.
And we are so grateful for all they've done for us here at Kansas Nation as we are now into year 2,
yeah.
as we discussed yesterday's show, Rolling Rock Chalk Sports here on Kansas Nation. Shout out to all you guys for listening and watching.
By the way, I talked to Miles Schneier at a wedding that we were both at.
Yes.
And he told me he wears a suit every day.
Yeah, classy guy.
Classy guy.
I love it, man.
He
That's
looked
such a
he
power
had like
move.
a nice brown suit on.
Yep.
Looks good, man.
Miles Schneier, he does not go out of style. And, yeah, if you have any interest in a new vehicle, used vehicle, whatever helps you out, whatever you need for your lifestyle, Crown Automotive on South Iowa or crownautomotive.com. All right, let's go to the KU football indoor practice facility. Let's hear a little bit more from two running backs that we heard from last week, Dylan Edwards and Yasin Willis at KU Football Media Day.
For how they were, it's been some years since I had gotten to talk to them, so just building that relationship again, it was green from there.
Yeah, and I mean, had they been in that relationship from the past previously, like maybe they recruited you before, but what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Wallace recruited me in high school. I mean, he was at my school about once a week, so I mean that relationship definitely carried over to now, and it's he's coaching me hard, and and I'm trying to play hard this year. So that's pretty much it.
Obviously, I'm sure you had some familiarity with Kansas, but was there anything when you got here that surprised you about being a part of the program?
Yeah, it was all remodeled. Like everything was remodeled when I first came back here and toured the facilities. They had a little bit, different coaches on staff, but pretty much everybody was the same. So, I mean, that's pretty much a good thing that you look at in recruiting. So, I came here and just everything else took care of itself.
Do you have any individual goals for this season? You trying to prove anything, or just want to play your game? Or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to play in the present. Not really trying to look forward to anything. Just play one game at a time. I think everything will take care of itself from there.
Yeah. What's maybe the area where you feel like you've taken the biggest step forward or grown the most since your first day here versus now?
Yeah, just learning defenses, seeing what I need to see before I go out there on the play, and really just making the installs way better and making plays from the install.
I've seen out at fall practice, Coach K is kind of around you a lot. You guys are talking a lot. Is he scheming up things for you or helping you out, wanting to put you in different positions? What's that like?
Yeah, Coach K is definitely being diverse in what he's calling with everybody on the field. And that's what's good about this offense, that the play calls is directed towards each position on the field. So you can make a lot of, different things and schemes from there.
Was it maybe a challenge for you to get more comfortable here? Did it come naturally when you got here that you kind of felt like you were in the right place, or what was that kind of transition like?
Yeah, at first I came in, I was a quiet guy. I didn't say too much, but as the weeks go on, I'm trying to open up more and just be who I am. And I think it's been better talking to everybody and just having the team, not rally around me, but me being a part of the team, really.
Was there any teammates, coaches maybe that kind of helped draw that out of you, that helped you open up a little bit more when you first got here? Or?
Really, all the coaches. They try to get me to smile all the time, just trying to get me out of my comfort zone. And I appreciate them for that because, coming in somewhere that you're not knowing what's going to happen or like how the vibes are going to be when you get there is different. But they made it easy for me to come in here and try to play football and just be myself.
Yes, seems like it's been very welcoming, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
You and Yasin were both named to the Doak Walker watch list. How cool was that for you, and just kind of how hungry does that make you to reach goals like that?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. I don't think maybe when Devin and Deuce was here.
Maybe for something, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Preseason something.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. It shows that, we have two guys in the room that can, go get it and, get yards for this team and be playmakers. So it just makes our offense look scary.
Yeah, how about that internal competition? I mean, I was just talking to Yasin, and it's like you got to bring your A game every day because you guys want to be out there. You don't want to lose your reps, but you're cheering for your teammates, but you got to bring it if you want to be on the field.
Yeah, I just try to play my game. Don't try to play anyone else's, and the rest will take care of itself. I'm just focused on, really week one and just knowing that if I can get better each and every day, get 1% better, that's what I'm looking forward and I'm doing, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, people see your speed and kind of quick twitch, other ways to adjust the game. How would you describe your game? As blocker, pass catcher, some other things that you need to do to stay out there?
I think one word to describe, two words to describe my game is all-purpose. I try to be an all-purpose player. That's what I'm going to try to show this year.
Yeah.
Last year I didn't get to show it, and so this year I'm planning on doing that and having a chip on my shoulder every single day.
Get some all-purpose yards. Do you have a lot of conversations with special teams? Obviously, that's a way you could impact the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the special teams meeting, dialed in, locked in, doing what I need to do for this team. Whatever is going to help the team win, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, for sure. Your excitement level just to play at this brand new stadium, kind of, and the fans welcoming you as they have. Just you come to Lawrence, and now you get a chance here very soon to play a couple games at home right away.
Yeah, it's definitely eye-opening coming to a new place, but I'm used to it now, and I'm used to the feel of being a Jayhawk, and I'm a Jayhawk. So that's pretty much all I can say about that.
Hey, Yasin, kind of take us through how camp's been so far and your excitement level to get things going.
Camp been going great, man. We just stacking days, day on and day on. working on the little things. We did, for the most part, got really in tune with each other. I think the connection with the whole team and the whole offense been really good. So like I said, now we just, working on the little fundamental stuff, the little mental game and stuff like that. So every day in practice, they just putting us through different challenges with the stadium noise, just making sure we could move fast under stress, under cadence when we tired. So the fall has been really great for us.
For sure. And you guys, as a running back room, it seems like you guys have a lot of different skill sets. Just kind of talk about yourself, Dylan, Jalen, and some of the younger guys as well, what everybody brings to the table.
Oh, yeah. Running back room, we all got our own special talents. Dylan, he's the burner in the running back group. I'm more of the power back. Jalen, he's good with the dead leg, getting on soft shoulder, making guys miss. So, we all got our own little fatigue in our running back room.
You and Dylan both got added to the Doak Walker watch list. What did that feel like for you personally?
I feel like that was just another goal that I got to achieve. Last year, I was up for it, but unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to perform the way I wanted to. So I take it as just another year to make sure I get better and really go reach that goal that I really want.
And then internal competition that you guys have. I mean, how fun is that, knowing that you got to bring your A game every day?
Oh, it's real. It's exciting, man. Me and Dylan and Jalen, us three, specifically, we push each other a lot because we in the same group with each other, and we make sure that we on top of each other with the littlest things that we got to do, and making sure we detail just for little stuff like footwork, or we go over extra protections and stuff to make sure that we understand what's going on and what we running and why we running. So it's been a good experience with these guys.
You've obviously got a big frame for running back. You mentioned you're a power back. I mean, how is that going to help you kind of transition to the Big 12, and how do you think you're going to be productive kind of using your skill set?
I think it's going to be very productive. Coach K got me doing a couple different things that y'all going to see this year. I think I'm being put in the right position to really show how much I can help the offense out, especially help make plays with the other guys like Dylan. Make sure I'm getting out there doing some blocking a little bit so we can use his speed and use my power and show yard stuff. Even and not just power, but speed too. I've gotten faster over this time period that I've been here. So it's going to be pretty exciting to watch me play this year, I'm telling you now.
How fun is it in Coach K's offense, and how much of a transition was it for you, just kind of learning the ins and outs and different things he does schematically?
It's amazing, man. I can't lie. The offense is something that I've never been a part of before, that type of offense that we run, but I tell you now, it's going to be something great. We got a lot of guys that can make different plays, so I'm really excited to be in this offense. It was definitely a different transition. I would say last year, being at Syracuse, there was more hand signal stuff. This year is a huddle team. So it's a long play call. That one play call is really long, but once you get used to it, and everything be cool. So
yeah.
I'll say that was the biggest switch for me.
Where's your hometown? Sorry.
Newark, New Jersey.
Okay. Imagine probably up in New Jersey, you don't know. Do you know anything about the Kansas-Mizzou rivalry at all? Has anybody talked to you about that? I know it's two games down the road.
A little bit.
Okay, cool. I know a lot of the guys from last year are hungry to get them back at our place. But yeah, kind of talk about just your excitement. You guys got to practice a little bit on the field. You're going to fill the stands, obviously. You're a couple Fridays back-to-back. Just your excitement level to get out there and you play at a state-of-the-art stadium.
Hey, man, it's really exciting. Especially that being my first time in the stadium. It definitely felt like home, where I was supposed to be. I got in the end zone a couple times at practice, so I'm trying to get myself used to it right now.
Yeah, cool.
That's Dylan Edwards and Yasin Willis last week at KU Football Media Day. Got extended conversations with them, which was fantastic. Again, 2 of the 62 guys named to the Doak Walker Award preseason watch list. Really looking forward to this. I mean, this is a classic thunder and lightning situation, right? I'm surprised we haven't said that.
That's good. Have you just thought of that?
It is because Edwards is more so the lightning, very fast, quick twitch, and then Willis obviously will run over you. But we've seen Yasin Willis, a guy, not a lot of teams have running backs that look like him, and I'm not talking about just the strong stature that he obviously has, but he's shifty. I mean, he can go side to side. It's not just 3 yards in a cloud of dust with Yasin Willis. I mean, I think he's going to be able to have some breakaway speed, some big plays as well. But I'm just totally all in on this running back room for KU.
Yeah, and they've talked about it. They've talked about trying to get Yasin Willis more involved in the pass game as well. I mean, this is something that we always joke about because it's kind of the most obvious thing in the world is having Dylan Edwards be in the passing game. But, I mean, they've talked about including Yasin Willis in the passing game as well. And he said that's really what he's been working on kind of in this offseason and this fall camp heading into it, is that he doesn't want to be known as kind of that guy who's between the tackles, like you said, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He wants to be the kind of guy who's, more versatile and can run the ball outside of different things, right? I think he's a better at breaking tackles than Dylan Edwards too, so you get him on the outside. I mean, imagine being a corner in an open field tackle trying to tackle Yasin Willis. I mean, that guy gets around that corner, it's done for. It's over, right? He's gonna get you some yards, and especially if he's in the pass game as well. Plus, I mean, he's going to be so key. This is something that people don't talk about enough in terms of the running backs, is how important they are in pass protection, right? That's the kind of guy you want in the backfield, protecting your quarterback, with those cut blocks or just fitting up on a defensive end who's coming around that corner completely untouched, right? No offense to Dylan Edwards, but, I mean, you look at a guy like Yasin Willis, like that's the kind of guy you want fitting up with a defensive end coming on that weak side towards your quarterback. So that's going to be another thing as well. I think Jalen Dupree is going to be really good at it too. But I like the versatility that you have in this running back room. I think that these guys are going to be utilized a lot, right? And we've seen it. They work a lot on their option game as well. We talked about Matt Lubick. We're going to hear from Matt Lubick in the next segment. But, in the option game, it's going to be so much fun because, again, that allows Yasin Willis to get outside of the tackles and essentially force corners to tackle him. He's 6 foot, 6'2", 235, 240 probably right now. I'd probably listed at like 225, but realistically, I mean, he's got the body style of like a big bruising, like Jerome Bettis type of back. You get him on the outside, he's going to be an absolute problem. Dylan Edwards, so shifty, right? You love the versatility, you love the depth in this running back room, and I think both of these guys are going to make a major impact, and certainly well-deserved to be on that Doak Walker preseason watch list. I think both these guys are going to get a fair amount of snaps. Dylan Edwards isn't going to be a high-usage guy. You're probably going to see more Yasin Willis. So if he adds the pass-catching ability into his game, I think it's going to be a problem for a lot of people.
So that is going to lead me into my next question. Jalen Dupree, I think at this point is third on the depth chart. That's fair to say. I mean, he wasn't provided to us. Of course, he was injured, nicked up a little bit in spring, but people still like what they see out of Jalen Dupree. And you like some of the young guys, particularly Corey Amakri. Of course, Justin Thurman got hurt, which is a bummer, and we wish him the best. But with Edwards and Willis as your top two guys, I mean, are you seeing this as an RBBC type thing? Is Edwards going to be maybe your first down back in some sets and your third down back in most sets? Do you see two-back sets at all? How do you see this? I mean, I think a lot of people are kind of assuming it's going to be a timeshare. How do you see this playing out? And we know that there's going to be a lot of different formations, and Andy Kotelnicki is going to formationally have these guys in different spots, and they're going to be out there at the same time at times. But is it going to be close to 50-50?
50-50? Probably not. I think you're going to see probably 65-35 Yasin Willis to Dylan Edwards.
Really?
Like I said, I don't think Dylan Edwards is a high-usage back.
See, I think that's probably opposite from what a lot of fans think. A lot of fans, I think Edwards will come in as the RB1.
Yeah, I don't blame them for thinking that, and I think you're going to see a lot of two running back sets. I do think it's going to be an RBBC style, right? But I think in terms of what Yasin Willis can provide between the tackles, I mean, we know Andy Kotelnicki loves to utilize that. Plus, don't be shocked if we run a one quarterback set or run one running back set with Dylan Edwards lining up at a slot receiver, right? You take a tight end completely out, you have, Cam Pickett and Dylan Edwards playing your two slots. You have Yasin Willis in the backfield, essentially being that pass pro guy like I talked about earlier. That's not crazy to think as well. And that technically, I wouldn't necessarily count that as a two running back kind of system. I think Dylan Edwards is so versatile. They're going to find ways to put him on the field. But in terms of carries, in terms of like the carries that that each individual guy sees, I think Yasin Willis is going to have the most amount of carries out of anybody on this roster. But just because of the way that Dylan Edwards is going to be utilized, again, is going to be heavily in the pass game. So that's what I think is going to be. I think it's going to be, kind of feel it out as well, right? You brought up downs. I think you're going to probably see Yasin be the first, second down guy. Third down, I think you're going to go primarily with Dylan Edwards, depending on the yardage, right? If it's 3rd and inches, maybe they'll go between the tackles with Yasin Willis. If it's 3rd and long, you're probably going to see Dylan Edwards either doing some jet stuff, some bubble screens, which I hate, by the way. I just can see it now. Bubble screens on 3rd and long. Don't get me started. But I can see something along those lines, or just essentially lining up as a true slot receiver as Dylan Edwards and trying to get to the sticks.
Well, yeah, and it's an interesting conversation, right? Because you said 3rd and inches, Yasin would be out there. I think we would agree on that front. But 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, maybe you do need a better pass catcher like Edwards, but you also might need extra pass pro.
Yeah,
and
right.
Going back to the point that you said earlier, Willis, at least from a stature standpoint, is somebody who probably provides a little bit more on that front. I don't know. I think I disagree with you slightly on that. I think you're going to see Edwards out there a lot on 1st down. And, again, it's probably going to be a mixture. But how many box scores will we be looking at where you see, okay, Willis had 13 or 14 carries. Maybe Edwards doesn't get 13 or 14 carries, but maybe he gets 13 or 14 touches. That's kind of what I'm envisioning, where Edwards does become more of a pass catcher. And it's got to be fun for Andy Kotelnicki. I mean, it's fun for us to talk about, but it's got to be fun scheming up different things. Going back to the last time Kotelnicki was here, you had Devin Neal, who was as special as they come as a running back. And, he was out there. He's a 3-down back. He's out there all the time. You had some nice pieces. Highshaw, when he was healthy, was a great option, and you used Morrison occasionally. But if I'm Andy Kotelnicki, I'm thinking, I don't think he's had this, at least at Kansas. He's had really good players at Penn State too, but at least in the running back room, I don't know that he's had the option. He doesn't have Devin Neal.
He's had similar backs.
Yeah, he doesn't have Devin Neal, and Devin Neal is a little bit of a do-it-all. But you've got 2 guys who I think provide a lot of versatility, which is exactly what Kotelnicki wants his offense to be.
Yeah, I think when you look back at the running back rooms of the past, you had Daniel Highshaw, who was a similar style of runner to Devin Neal. Savion Morrison, also a similar style of runner. Like you look back, to last year with Daniel Highshaw and LeSean Williams. Both of those guys were just similar backs, right? And you could make the case of LeSean is a little bit more shifty, but in terms of the versatility that they provide with Edwards and Willis, 2 polar opposites on the running back spectrum, right? So that's exactly what you want.
And good on the coaching staff for selling Kansas to both of them.
Yeah,
right? Because how many guys out there want to come in and, if there's 62 guys named to the Doak Walker Award preseason watch list, they want to be the only guy on their team because they want to be seen as the guy. These guys bought into whatever the coaches were selling them in the transfer portal, saying, hey, we're going to have success, and it might be you're not playing 3 downs every set of downs, but you're going to have success, and it's going to work.
I got it. Jake Sharp and Brandon McAnderson.
You like that?
That's exactly what they are.
Okay.
Dylan Edwards is Jake Sharp. Yasin Willis is Brandon McAnderson.
Okay.
That's the 1-2 punch that they have.
If BMAC is watching, I apologize for what I'm about to say. But I do think that Yasin has a little more shiftiness than BMAC. BMAC had a little bit more of the Jerome Bettis bruising through. Right. Now, yet to be seen, of course. Willis hasn't played it down yet for Kansas. But I think Willis a little bit taller than BMAC, and BMAC probably a little bit better at getting his shoulders, down low and in between the tackles. But I don't hate that. Little thunder and lightning, that's what those guys were back in the day. For KU football back 2008, won the Orange Bowl. That was pretty cool, right? Let's go back. Let's do that again very, very soon. All right, hey, after this, we're going to hear from KU co-offensive coordinator and tight ends coach Matt Lubick as he spoke at KU Football Media Day last week. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. With Jayhawk checking from Central Bank, Jayhawk fans can carry their pride wherever they go with the official Jayhawk debit card. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together. As the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, on campus, at work, and everywhere in between. You can learn more about Jayhawk checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. Jayhawkchecking.com, Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas. Member FDIC. Hey, we talked a lot about Matt Lubick and the vital role that he played in KU having success in those back-to-back bowl seasons. Let's hear from Matt Lubick last week at KU Football Media Day.
I've been great. Always have had a great attitude, working really hard. We have some returning guys that got some experience last year, which helps us. And then the new guys have made big contributions.
We've heard a lot about Carson as a blocker, obviously. How has he developed as a receiver?
He just tries to work on all aspects of his game. He spent a lot of time in the summer, like they all did, catching balls with the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks did a great job of getting guys out there, and we did a lot of very throwing routines where we run the top of routes to save guys' legs, and then we run full routes. But they got a lot of work in the summer. It really showed, and yeah, he has really good hands.
The player like Jalen, who didn't maybe have a lot of film of receiving, when you got here, what was the first thing you were trying to work on with him, or how have you seen him receiving?
Yeah, I think as a tight end, that's part of you got to be able to catch the football. So we always work ball drills. As a tight end, you have to block like an offensive lineman, but you also have to run routes like a receiver. So we put guys in receiver spots and expect them to be able to execute. So they know the whole route tree, all the receivers know, and they work a lot at it. And right now we're doing a lot more. When we're out there in pads, a lot more physical type stuff. Where in the summer we really worked on catching the ball and running routes, and it's now starting to all blend together.
Matt, I know a few years ago you were pretty instrumental in getting the quarterback run game, some of the option stuff you helped with. Are you still pretty involved with that?
Well, it helps when you have good quarterbacks that can run the football. And, Coach K, for his experience and utilizing quarterbacks and putting them in positions to show their skill set is one of the best I've been around. And so that's going to continue to happen.
How deep is the tight end room? Do you like the depth?
We're deep. We feel like we got capable 4 to 5 guys that can go in there and play right now. And then we have some younger guys that just need reps to be in that rotation too. So I really like where our room's at depth-wise.
What have you seen from Kevin since he got on campus?
Kevin is going to be a really good football player here. He's tough, athletic. I had the chance to watch him play basketball. He was a really good basketball player, and that shows on the football field. But his physicality going against college players that are pretty big, how he's adjusted to that's been very impressive. And he's a big kid himself. I mean, he's a 6'5", 245-pound guy that is very physical.
In terms of Carter Moses, I know he's banged up right now, but
yeah.
What's your vision for him and what he can offer you guys?
He's right in the mix. I mean, we like tight ends that can do it all, can block and be weapons in the passing game and create movement. And he's very physical. He's tough. He's smart, so he picks up things really fast. And yeah, we're excited just to get him back going full speed. And he had a really good spring for us.
Matt, when you're watching guys over this next couple of weeks, Lance said next week will be kind of a simulated game week, and then it is game week.
Sure.
What are you looking for to see, hey, I do know this about him, or I'm still learning this about him? I mean, what stands out at this time of camp?
Yeah, I think it's at every position. I think it's just consistency. Guys that we can trust doing things, not necessarily perfect, but doing things right over and over again. And specifically at the tight end position, guys that can create movement and still be weapons in the pass game. But yeah, I think every position has their own specific requirements. But we just want guys that over and over again we can trust them to do the right thing. And at the tight end position, we got a lot of dependable guys. I think our average GPA is 3.8. So it's a bunch of overachiever guys that practice really hard and they do a lot of work on their own, and it shows on the field.
Is that microscope more powerful later in camp, or is it the same for the coach's eye?
We evaluate it every day it changes. It really does. And we put guys, we try to put guys in situations where they can succeed, but we also put them in challenging situations to kind of really stress them and see how they're going to respond. And so, yeah, that's a work in progress. And that's our job as coaches is to, obviously to push them to be the best they can possibly be and put them in situations where they're going to grow.
You touched on Carson briefly, but what is it about him that makes him have the potential to be a really special player?
There's a lot of things. He's one of the smarter players I've ever been around. So very football savvy, extremely tough, has great size, great tangibles, long arms, really good ball skills, great leader, and has really good practice habits. I always think that's the key to anyone being great. That's a good player is how hard they practice, and he's his own worst critic and tries to get better every day. And he really leads by example. The way he practices rubs off on all our younger guys.
How do you balance taking advantage of that depth you have with making sure that your top guys get an appropriate number of opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, as an offensive staff, we talk about that daily. Who do we want to touch the ball? Putting guys in the right spots within your system is a big thing that is our responsibility. So that's something that we talk about every day, and we put guys out in practice and give them those opportunities to see how they do. And then that's is constant evaluation, and then basically it's kind of up to them. We put them in the situations, and if they do well, then those are the guys that are going to be either touching the ball or point of attack on blocks.
Coach Lubick.
That's KU tight ends coach Matt Lubick, who, as we talked about when he was a senior offensive analyst a couple years ago, KU had a lot of success, and now he's working with a tight end group, Dan, that we've talked about at length, bringing different things to the table, a lot of guys who can contribute to this team in different ways. As a tight end, you got to catch the ball, you got to pass protect, you got to be able to go hit somebody, run plays. Your thoughts on the room this year?
I love the tight end room this year. You know, I think Jalen Butler, again, sort of that diamond in the rough, played in a style of offense that didn't utilize the tight end like a true tight end. They were more utilized as a fullback, but I like his size, I like his catchability. You're really nice tight end there. Carter Moses obviously was a, highly productive tight end at the FCS rankings over there in Albany. I think he's going to be nice. Carson Brune's only going to get better, right? We saw flashes of it last year. Unfortunately, he got hurt last year, so we didn't get to see the full Carson Brune effect. I think this is going to be a big year for him. And Leighton Cure, I mean, who knows what we're going to be able to expect out of him. I think that he's become a leader in that room. I think we're going to see, maybe quite a bit of Leighton Cure this year. So I absolutely love it. And, this is something that we don't talk about a lot. 22 and 23, you had Matt Lubick and Andy Kotelnicki on the staff, and it was one of the best offenses that we've ever seen in Kansas football history, maybe. Both of them leave. Kansas struggles on the offensive side of the ball for a good portion of the times that they left. You brought back, I had to burp. You brought back Matt Lubick, right? Implemented a little bit of the option stuff that he implemented beforehand, but it still everything wasn't firing and clicking. Now you bring back Andy Kotelnicki. You bring back the two guys who were so instrumental in making that Kansas offense top tier. I think this is going to be a big year for both of them. I think that was really the missing pieces, is having Matt Lubick and Andy Kotelnicki both running the offense and forming it the way that they want to get it back to form where it was back in 22 and 23.
Yeah, and I'm so high on Carson Brune. As you know, Kansas also in 22-23 had Mason Fairchild, who was awesome. Right. And how many times in Kotelnicki and Lubick's offense was Fairchild running wide open down the seam? Hopefully we see that a lot with Brune or some of his comrades this season, because Kotelnicki, he can draw it up and the guys can execute. Looking forward to seeing the tight ends go out and deliver this year. Hey, after this, we're going to update you on some conference, NFL, NCAA. It's crap, isn't it? Crap. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're dealing with. We're trying to get past this whole class of 2022 stuff, the lawsuits, the NFL players coming back to college. Anyway, we will update you on that after this here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Welcome back here to Rock Chalk Sports on Kansas Nation. Thanks to everybody who's listening over on ESPN Kansas City, watching KansasNation.com, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Sean Kellerman alongside Dan Courtwright. Hey, as we move from the heat of summer into fall, now is the time to make sure your lawn finishes the season strong. The work you do in August and September lays the foundation for a thicker, healthier, greener lawn next spring. That's where the experts at Custom Lawn and Landscape come in. From late summer fertilization and weed control to overseeding, aeration, and landscape enhancements, they'll create a plan that's right for your yard. Their team knows exactly what Kansas City lawns need as the seasons change. Don't wait until the leaves start falling. Get ahead of the season now and enjoy a lawn that's healthy today and ready to thrive next year. Call Custom Lawn and Landscape today or visit them online at customlawn.com to schedule your fall lawn care program. That's Custom Lawn and Landscape, your partner for a beautiful lawn in every season. Dan, we talked about this a little bit yesterday with the Big Ten trying to sort of take a stand on the disaster that is roster building right now in the NCAA. And I think Lane Kiffin, LSU, they've been at the forefront, and maybe not even Lane Kiffin, but Lane Kiffin and Will Wade. Will Wade, the basketball coach, they're trying to get Donovan Dent, who played his, what we thought, final year of eligibility at UCLA as a point guard, then retired, then unretired, and supposedly is trying to play for LSU. And they're also trying to get R.J. Lewis Jr., who hasn't played a game in 2 years. He went undrafted. Very, very weird deal, because then you've got Kiffin on the football side of things for LSU, trying to get, a guy that used to play tight end for him at Ole Miss, then went to the Browns, trying to get him to come back. Moral of the story, as we've discussed and as people have probably seen, the Big Ten, the first conference to come out and say you can't go to the NFL and essentially be an NFL cast-off and then fall back to college. And what we found out the remainder of the day yesterday is that the other power conferences are aligning in this view.
Yeah, absolutely. Some new information about the Big Ten. So the Big Ten has tried to implement this rule. The Big Ten has confirmed punishments, I guess, if you will. This is per Nicole Auerbach. She's the NBC Sports college football lead college football insider. She says the Big Ten has confirmed that the head coach of a team that plays an NFL player would be suspended for half the season plus an institutional fine. So now there are punishments put in place where if anybody tries to skirt around this, they will be suspended for at least 6 games, which I think is good. And then, like you talked about, every other conference has come out saying that, yes, this is bad. We agree, and we are going to put in rules in place to try to avoid this. The SEC put out an interesting statement. It says, following the meetings with the presidents, chancellors, and athletic directors of the Southeastern Conference, the SEC will enforce the following policy. An SEC institution is not permitted to have an athlete on its roster who has, previously declared for the NFL, NBA, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw. Number 2, signed a contract with an NFL or other professional football league, NBA/G League, or WNBA or affiliate team, or been listed on an NFL roster, NBA G League, or WNBA roster. The commissioner is authorized to enforce this expectations with penalties against member institutions. So those penalties have not been brought out yet, but John Rothstein added to this. He said, according to the new SEC guidelines, any player that signed an Exhibit 10 contract will not be eligible to play in the conference. But players who played in the NBA Summer League still could potentially be eligible because playing in the Summer League does not require signing a standard NBA contract. So essentially it's like, hey, if you signed a contract, if you've gotten paid any kind of money from the NBA or the NFL, and you signed an actual Exhibit 10 contract, which is essentially the legally binding, you were a part of X organization, you are not eligible. But if you were played in the NBA Summer League, which leads into the Trey White situation, because Trey White has not signed an Exhibit 10, at least from what we have seen. And we've been kind of tracking this here and there. I've been talking to different media members, and I don't believe that Trey White has signed an Exhibit 10, but according to the SEC laws, Summer League players would still be able to attend. The Big 12 has yet to come out with any kind of statement along these lines as well, but the SEC comes out with this statement, which I think is good. The SEC is kind of nipping this in the bud. And look, we talk about Lane Kiffin a lot and how, divisive he is, how Will Wade is one of the most polarizing figures in basketball. Lane Kiffin is the most polarizing figure in football. But we talked about it yesterday too. It's Lane Kiffin's job to make the best roster possible. And if there are ways, loopholes to get NFL guys on the roster, I don't see why he wouldn't try to do it. Again, I disavow. I think it's terrible. I think it's bad. But he's just doing his job at the end of the day. And Lane Kiffin, he said, at the end of the day, because of these rulings, they're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else in the country. He said, we made the decision to recruit them. Because if it's not going to be Lane Kiffin, it's going to be somebody else. Right? Obviously, Lane Kiffin has a lot of baggage behind him as well with the whole Tennessee thing and, the Ole Miss, the way that he left, all that different stuff. So, obviously, it's easy to point fingers at Lane Kiffin, but, you really think that if he would have done this, if he wouldn't have gone after any of these guys, there would have been somebody else.
Yeah.
There absolutely would have been somebody else.
Whether it be can understand the logic of it.
Absolutely, you can understand the logic of it from a head coaching standpoint. Now, again, per Ross Dellinger, athletes are still going to be able to sue conferences. But if the conferences put into order these rules, these laws that they are making in their own conference saying that, hey, if you have signed a contract, if you have been on a roster, you are not able to go. They can lawyer up and do it. That's fine. As of right now, there's going to be no winners in this case whatsoever. It's going to drag on and on and on. Actually, I take that back. There's going to be one winner in this case, and that's the lawyers because they're getting paid hourly. That's exactly – those guys are making out like bandits, and I'm sure they want to keep extending this on and on and on just so they can keep on making money, right? That's why it gets so dicey whenever it comes to this stuff. But somebody needs to nip this in the bud, and that's what the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC and the Big 12 are all doing in saying, hey, this is no longer allowed. And I think it's a good thing because we talked about this too with Springer. Honestly, this really should have been the last gasp of, legality or litigious talk whenever you're talking about eligibility, right? Because of the fact that the class of 2022, I understand it. You guys got screwed. You didn't get the extra year for COVID. You didn't get in the 5-5. I'm sorry. It sucks, right? That does suck. And I kind of agree with you. But at the same time, if you want to enact laws in the NCAA and have everyone follow it, you need to make sure that there's no way around these laws, or else everyone is going to try to take advantage of you. Everyone is going to try to sue you. Everyone's going to try to get another year of eligibility. That's just the way that this is going to work. I'm sure there are lawyers looking into it right now in terms of how they can help their clients get another year of eligibility for 2 years from now or 5 years from now. This is always going to be a thing. The NCAA needs to make this ironclad rule of 5 and 5. If this works the way that it's supposed to, then it should completely get rid of all of this and kind of sort of go back to what college athletics once was, where guys like you and I who don't know a damn thing about the law are talking about the law. We opened the show with it yesterday.
Right.
I don't have a law degree. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm reading articles. This is impossible. If I can't do it, I mean, I'm sure there's thousands of other people who can't figure this out, and they hate it. It's terrible. So, yeah, this is good. Again, the Big Ten did the absolute right thing in moving the ball forward, because I think if there wouldn't have been a power conference to come out before everyone else and say, hey, we disavow, we are making rules to where this cannot happen, I'm afraid that everyone else probably would have been cowards. So good on the Big Ten for coming out saying we're not going to do this, and having the Big 12 and the ACC and the SEC all follow suit.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a good thing. We've talked about this too. We are hoping that this is the final year that we're going to be talking about this. And again, there needed to be a stand, and it needed to not just be one conference hoping that, they could have a big enough say in this. It needed to be the majority, if not all of the power conferences saying, hey, we can't do this. And again, the SEC statement, they said NBA, WNBA too. Like, if you go to the draft and don't appropriately withdraw from the draft, you can't go undrafted, unsigned, and then come back. And that's what we need. And we say it's the last year. We hope it's the last year because, again, it goes back to the class of 2022. And, initially there was the blanket waiver where you could all come back if you want, and that was already going to cause a ton of chaos. But there's also been, in the past few months, the 5 and 5 rule, which should prevent, for lack of a better way of putting it, 26-year-olds playing college athletics, because you're not going to get guys who have 3 medical red shirts playing. I mean, the 5 and 5 allows for there to be enough flexibility to where if something goes wrong, / the players who had the COVID year got an extra year, the flexibility is if something goes wrong, you get a 5th year. You know why that's flexibility? Because you didn't used to ever. You had 4 years, and that was it. Frank Mason got to play at KU for 4 years. You think he would have made some money in the NIL era playing for another year at KU? Okay, I get it. 2022 class, I totally understand with the COVID thing and 2020 and 2021 and then 23 and 24 with the new ruling. They all got an extra year also. I get it. But don't forget that everybody 2019 and prior also only got 4 years. And they're not going to, at this point, being almost 30 years old, go and try to start a lawsuit with everything. So the 5 and 5 provides flexibility to where you still get to have 5 years. That is more than a ton of people in previous generations, maybe that's a strong word, but previous tenures got. They got 4 years, and you know what else? They didn't get NIL opportunities. Right. So you get 5 and 5, you have a medical issue, okay, that sucks, but you still get a chance to play 4 years as millions of athletes did before. So we're hoping once you get past this, and again, I think we're moving in the right direction, that there's not going to be any arguments moving forward. There shouldn't be as much legality stuff to go over because it's going to be passed. You are going to have 5 years from either your 19th birthday or your high school graduation, whichever came first, to compete NCAA. So I don't know. It's a mess, but again, hopefully, as we've been saying all week, this will be it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Jeff Goodman had a really good point where he had essentially said that, look, I understand you guys only got 4 years, but you guys also played in the 4 most profitable years in college athletics, where, as to what you said, Frank Mason, Devontae Graham, Sharon Collins, right? You go down the list in the history of the NCAA. Sure, were there guys getting paid under the table? Probably. That was happening literally everywhere, right? But in terms of profitability and guys making millions, literally millions of dollars, they got to play in that era. Sorry you didn't get your extra year, but again, life's not fair. And with the 5-and-5 rule being put into place, I don't know if this is a hot take or whatever, but it's such a good thing that they're getting rid of red shirts because of the fact that people would take advantage of that so much, where essentially you had people, without outwardly saying it, they would play for 4 games and then say they were injured to get another year for the next year, right? So they can get another medical red shirt and then another medical red shirt. You remember that University of Hawaii tight end who played for 9 years in college football? I mean, that was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. He was literally in the class of 2016, played for 9 years. Meanwhile, I was already in the workforce for 4 years or whatever. Like, it was just insane. So, I don't know. I like the fact that it's taken away the red shirts, where it's like, hey, you get 5. That's it. If you're not good enough to play your freshman year, guess what? You got 4 more years, buddy. You know what I mean? But you're not going to be able to take advantage of medical red shirt after medical red shirt after medical red shirt, and you're not going to have a situation where you have a guy like that Miami tight end who played for 9 years because he kept on getting injured. Boo-hoo. I'm sorry. But you get 5 years. That's what I mean. You need to be a strict parent. That's what the NCAA needs to be. The NCAA needs to be a strict parent and say, look, tough crap. I'm sorry, guys.
And
you got injured for 4 of your 5 years. Sorry.
Even then,
everyone else gets 5.
Even then, our dads would say, strict parent with an asterisk, because you're still getting 5 years.
Absolutely.
Right?
They're still getting 5 years. You're
still
getting more than everybody else who's ever played before. It's just insane how, I don't know, spoiled is not the right word, but you know what I mean? It's like they're still getting an extra year. Essentially the 5-and-5 is everyone gets an extra year for forever into the future.
Right
now.
Right.
And they're still like, but what if I want 6? What if I get injured?
And I think
if you get injured, injury's part of the game, buddy.
And you and I have talked about that. It's going to be incredibly one-off, to where if somebody has some diagnosis to where there might be an exception and maybe they have a really good lawyer, then they can go and say this person gets a 6 year. But those are going to be incredibly rare compared to the disaster that is the 2022 class, and AJ Storr going to play at UNLV and all that. But again, it's good news, we think, as fans, when we're looking at these conferences kind of banding together and saying, okay, we actually can agree on something, even the SEC. You can't go to a professional draft, not withdraw appropriately, and then just have a fallback and take somebody else's roster spot.
Yeah.
And also, just, it's college athletics. And I know that that's very gray area right now. Different than even when you and I were growing up and you had to actually be taking classes and be on campus. And we know that it's not quite like that. But nothing has changed still, and there's still problems with the NCAA. When you talk about the transfer portal, that's the next thing. You got to get – it's unrelated to this to an extent, but you got to get guys signing contracts. You got to maybe in doing that prevent guys from being able to transfer willingly. I think that's the next step in kind of fixing the mess of college athletics. And who knows? I mean, AJ Storr might not be the last AJ Storr where you're playing at 5-6 different colleges in 5-6 different years, but it would be certainly nice if that's the case, to where you can get past that. And
well, the transfer portal's not fixed.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's the next step, is fixing that.
That is the next step. And I understand there was the Save College Sports bill that was put into place, where essentially you get one free transfer, and then after that it reverts to the old rule where you have to sit out a year if you want to transfer a second time. And look, I understand. There are guys who go to colleges and they thought they loved it in high school, and they go, and it's not exactly what they thought, whether it be playing time or whether it be, proximity from home.
You can transfer once without having to sit out.
Yeah.
How about that?
You can transfer once without having to sit out, and if you want to transfer again, guess what? We're taking a year.
And
guess what?
And you know what guys don't want to do? Sit out.
And you know what? You still get 4 years.
Yeah.
If you sit out.
Yeah.
You still get 4 total years.
Yeah.
If you
after that first year.
And how crazy is that to think of a college player playing for 4 years? Oh wait, you mean like forever? I don't know. It's dumb. The whole thing is dumb. again, there's a lot of things that need to be. It keeps on getting worse and worse and worse, and I feel like we're at a tipping point now where everyone goes, "Oh yeah, this is about as bad as it could possibly get."
So. Yeah.
Bringing literally NFL players back to college. That's about as bad as you can possibly get.
That's true.
That's the tipping point that we had to eventually get to.
Apparently,
to be like, somebody should do something about this.
And
you know what
again,
I mean?
at least in a world where there's almost no alignment on anything, at least the conferences are aligned on this. And yeah, it's a disaster. But should we hear anything else groundbreaking on that front, we'll let you know here on Rock Chalk Sports. And hopefully we don't have to put our lawyer hats on too many more times because
do lawyers wear hats?
It's really not what we do. After this, let's do some KU Mailbag segment. We're tired of hearing each other. Let's hear from you, the fans. Thanks for sending in your questions all across our socials. That's next, ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back with you for Rock Chalk Sports. Our Dan Courtwright is going to tell you all about Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment. If you have a question, first off, for our KU Mailbag segment, which we are about to get into here in the open, you can always find us at the Kansas Nation, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Facebook and Twitter are probably best for sending in your questions. Facebook, Kansas Nation, YouTube as well. You'll find all our content, KansasNation.com. Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment, Dan, they are partners of us here at Kansas Nation.
Yeah, they're outdoor enthusiasts. They're excited to help you experience the fun and adventure that quality lawn and garden and outdoor power equipment can bring into your life. They're an outdoor power equipment dealership serving the Lawrence area, offering the best in new and pre-owned Ferris, Hustler, and Country Clipper lawnmowers, Mahindra tractors and implements, Arctic Cat ATVs and UTVs, Steel handhelds, and Billycoat specialty turf products. They have a very friendly and knowledgeable sales, financing, service, and parts department ready to offer you outstanding service every step of the way. Be sure to check them out, HeinenOPE.com. That's HeinenOPE.com.
KU Mailbag segment. Shout out to all you guys sending in some great questions this week. We're going to start with Colin. Colin's got a college football question off the jump.
Yes, he
Dan.
does.
It is Heisman candidates. Who are your top three for this upcoming season?
Colin says top 3 early picks for Heisman. So I'm looking at it right now. This is actually astounding to me. Do you know who number 1 is right now?
Julian Sand.
No. Julian Sand's 5th. It's CJ Carr for Notre Dame. Plus 700. Arch Manning is at plus 750. Dante Moore is at plus 1,100. I'm going to be all over Dante Moore. I mean, I don't know how I haven't seen this yet, and I really want to just put this in right now, that Dante Moore will win the Heisman. Because he is that good.
He does seem like a U-type guy.
You know what he would have been? He would have been like the number 2 overall draft pick in the NFL draft this year. But he decided to go back to Oregon. It was going to be like Fernando Mendoza, and then Dante Moore, and then everyone else. Instead, it was Fernando Mendoza, and then the next quarterback wasn't taken until the 3rd round. Correct? Am I right? No, God, no. It's Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson went 15, and then Carson Beck went the 3rd round, I believe.
Why do I feel like Simpson went 13? Because you said that the other day. I feel like he went
sure it was 15.
13, and then Bain
Does he wear 15?
He went 13.
Is his number 15?
I think Bain went is his number 15. Yes.
Okay,
his number was 15 at Alabama.
His number's 15. That's why I have 15 in my head.
That's fair.
He went 13.
I think Bain did go 15, didn't he?
Bain went 15. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I'll give you the list right now. This is actually crazy. So it's CJ Carr plus 700, Arch Manning plus 750, Dante Moore plus 1,100, Darian Mensah tied with Dante Moore for Miami. By the way, $8 million for Darian Mensah, who was pretty good at Duke. I mean, Duke, didn't they win the ACC last year technically?
Pretty good.
Julian
million.
Sayin is at plus 1,200 at 5th. Trinidad Chambliss is at plus 1,300 at Ole Miss. Then they have Jeremiah Smith plus 1,400. I like those odds as well. I think that he's good enough to potentially be that guy, but also Julian Sayin's throwing him the ball, so sure, I'll buy that. Josh Hoover for Indiana at plus 1,500. Sam Levitt plus 2,000. Gunnar Stockton at plus 2,000. For what it's worth, Will Hammond, by the way, is at plus 4,000. That's actually really, really shocking. Drew Mestemaker is at plus 6,500. So there's some, there's some Big 12. A little bit Big 12 flavor, a little bit farther down the list. But Dante Moore, to me, is my number 1 guy. Honestly, if I'm going to put 3 guys right now for my personal top 3 Heisman, it's Dante Moore, Arch Manning, and then Jeremiah Smith. which according to DraftKings, that goes 3,
I thought you were
2,
a,
and then 7 respectively.
I thought you were a Nico Iamaleava guy.
I am not a Nico Iamaleava guy. Where is he at? I want to.
He is
even
plus
on this?
10,000.
No way.
Plus 10,000. All right.
Okay, yeah, plus 10,000.
Tell me your 3 again.
Dante Moore is 1 overall for me, who's 3 on DraftKings. Arch Manning, who's 2 on DraftKings, also my 2. And then I have Jeremiah Smith, who's 7 on DraftKings, but he's number 3 in my book.
So I think there will
and
be.
And then Nick McMillan.
I think there will be a non-quarterback up there, so it's most likely that's going to be Smith. Usually Heisman finalists, that's going to be a thing. But dark horse, Jaden Maiava.
Why?
Well, we've seen him play in person.
Yeah.
And he was good, and USC is going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the darkest of dark horses. John Mateer.
Yeah, John Mateer.
Mateer, I mean, he had the hand thing, came back really quickly last year.
Yeah, he's able to stay healthy.
Throwing out some dark horses. Bear Bachmeier, I think, is a potential dark horse, depending if but I think a lot of those quarterbacks in the Big 12, just because nobody in the Big 12 is in the top 10. I mean, who knows? Devin Dampier, he could be a guy that if they're really good, he's going to be in the Heisman conversation.
Noah Fifita, I'm still a believer.
Right.
After 4 years, I'm still a Noah Fifita believer. He's good.
I would not be surprised at all if Sam Leavitt is attending the ceremony as a top 4 candidate either.
I wouldn't be surprised at all either, especially if he's throwing.
You
NFL
remember him?
guys.
I was high on him before anybody knew his name. When KU played at Arizona State, we were at our old show, and I was like, he's the best quarterback we've seen this year.
No, you're absolutely right. And I remember talking to Blake Neiman, and it was a quarterback battle going on between Sam Leavitt and somebody else. Sam Leavitt had just transferred from Michigan State to Arizona State, and he said, we're really liking what we're seeing. And this is when Arizona State was picked dead last in the Big 12, and they wound up winning it and then going to the college football playoffs. He said, from what we're seeing in practice, Sam Leavitt's looking really good. And I was like, okay, I'll make a mental note of that just to be like, oh, that's going to be the starter. Little did I know that he was going to turn into what Sam Leavitt is now.
Yeah, and we'll see what he does in Baton Rouge with Lane Kiffin. Hey, Ed, he wants to know, what vibes are you currently sensing out of KU football? Do tell. 12-0, man. 12-0.
That's if we're going off vibes and I'm going off of everyone else's record predictions, I had KU going 12-0. No, vibes are up. Vibes are good. I mean, Springer said it
boy, yeah. But the two position groups that he said KU might not be as deep or as strong are 2 very important position groups.
I'm aware. You need obviously Jalen Daniels has some big shoes to fill. Say what you want about Jalen Daniels.
Maybe you could put your shoes in his shoes.
What if I put my shoes in Jalen Daniels? Those are big shoes to fill, obviously. But I like what we've seen out of Cole Ballard. I like what we've seen out of Isaiah Marshall. And with Andy Kotelnicki, look, here's the thing. If you have good position players around you, that can make a good quarterback. You know what a system quarterback is? A system quarterback is a fine quarterback who plays in a good system that supports him and has really good, guys around. That's what happened with Brock Purdy. And honestly, you can go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. You think Jimmy Garoppolo is good enough to lead the 49ers to lead any other team besides the 49ers to the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. He was a system quarterback. You know why? Because he had Deebo Samuel, he had George Kittle. They had a really good defense around them. They had a stellar run game, right? Christian McCaffrey with Brock Purdy, right? I mean, you talk about a great system with great running games, great schemes being put up to put your quarterback into success. I think with Andy Kotelnicki and Matt Lubick at the helm, that makes me feel really confident.
I mean, I'm so confident. I've said it before, and we've been confident. We're always going to get excited. We talk about that, how our optimism throughout fall camp just gradually goes up every year. But seeing these guys in person and respectfully comparing them from an athleticism and strength and build standpoint to the past couple seasons, it just looks a little bit different. Now, the quarterback is a huge question. We have to figure out who the quarterback is going to be, and the quarterback's going to have to be a very good Big 12 quarterback if KU wants to go to a bowl game, go to a good bowl game, compete for a Big 12 championship, all that. That has to happen. Offensive line has to go out and hit somebody and has to, be fundamentally sound, all that. But I'm serious when I talk about the 2 guys that are going to be running the football for Kansas are as good as a duo. I don't think either one of them is individually as good as Devin Neal. as a duo, as good as a duo that Kansas has had. And, again, wide receiver, Kansas has Big 12 guys, and I love the depth. I love that Kansas defensively hit the transfer portal so hard at the linebacker spot. You've got a potential All-American off the edge in Leroy Harris. Some questions in the secondary, but I feel like that's generally the case. You still have some leadership back there with Jalen Todd and Taylor Davis. But, yeah, I'm definitely bullish on this team. I'm hoping that they have a step or two higher ceiling at the very least in the last couple of years.
Well, this is something that we've talked about a couple of times, is the fact that Lance Leipold and KU football, they don't need to put out a starting quarterback just yet. They don't need to announce it because of the fact that you're obviously going to play both of them, if not 3 different quarterbacks in that Long Island game. You're going to use that kind of as an evaluation game, still trying to feel it out, and then make Mizzou prepare for 2 quarterbacks. You don't need to go out. I understand, like we've talked about, the fans are getting a little frustrated because they want a guy to rally behind. But strategically, it makes sense to keep Mizzou on their toes, make them prepare for 2 different quarterbacks. Don't let them know. Don't tip your hand in telling them who's going to be thrown out there. You're probably going to see both of those quarterbacks out there against Mizzou as well. So I still think it's okay from a strategy standpoint to not announce a quarterback just yet.
Yeah, I agree, and they're not going to. I can guarantee you that. You won't know who's going to be quarterback maybe even after the first game. Garrett's up next.
Yeah, Garrett says, not a mailbag question, but R.I.P. Dolly Parton. What is your favorite Dolly Parton song?
It is the one that she did with Brad Paisley, When I Get Where I'm Going.
What? I've never heard that.
Oh, dude, such a good song. When I Get Where I'm Going, Brad Paisley and Dolly Parton. Yeah, that's not really a Dolly specialty, but I don't know. You tell me, because I don't know. I don't know a ton of them. Admittedly.
Well, so she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You, kind of made famous by Whitney Houston, but Dolly wrote it. Yeah. Both of those songs on the same day. How amazing is that?
That is crazy.
I mean, Jolene, talk about a banger of a song. 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, just trying to make a living. I love that song. Here You Come Again. That's a good one. Why'd you come in here looking like that? With the cowboy boots and your cowboy hat. I actually don't know. That's not the words,
I think.
Why'd you come in here looking like that? In your high-heeled boots and your painted-on jeans.
Side note, we were talking earlier about how my daughter receives the Dolly Parton books. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library says it will keep sending free books to kids.
Oh, that's great.
Amazing. I mean, I wouldn't think that they would stop it, but still, like I said earlier, Ava loves her bestie Dolly who sends her books. Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, and Dolly Parton would record videos. Obviously, they weren't personalized for each individual kid, but I remember my sister would get emails and it'd be Dolly Parton sitting in a chair, and she'd be like, "I hope you enjoyed your books." She's the best, man. Yeah. She's just the best. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton, man. I'll never forget your cameo you made on the Hannah Montana show. That was a legend. What a legend, dude. She's so great. Plus, she was married to the same guy for 60 years.
Yes, something.
Dean.
I found this out yesterday.
Something
Dean. Yes, shout out.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Dolly. R.I.P. That's
Cody.
tough. Also, Tim Curry, he died today, also at 80. He was the concierge guy in Home Alone 2.
Ah.
Are you familiar?
I have seen the movie, but I don't know that I could pick him out of the lineup.
That's what.
Oh man,
I don't know.
Yeah,
these aren't great.
Oh yeah, dude, hasn't he been in a ton of Adam Sandler movies?
A ton. Yeah. No, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh man, R.I.P. as well.
Cool guy.
Cody says, "Will Cyrus Allen be a number 1 target for the Chiefs one day?"
Well, one day. I think one day he will. If the Chiefs, I don't know. So let's look at this realistically. Xavier Worthy stays healthy for 5 more years. He's going to be the number 1 guy. There's no question about it. But let's look at it like this. The Chiefs, in my opinion, should get rid of Rashee Rice after this year. You do not want to extend him, especially after all of the bad things that he has done.
What if he has a very clean, very productive year?
I still think you get rid of him.
Okay.
I still think you have to get rid of Rashee Rice. It's too much of a headache. He is too prone to continue to get into trouble. I know Andy Reid has a long history of getting the most out of troublesome football players, not like Rashee Rice. This has been like one of the worst. Like, just dude,
it's been a bad run.
Just figure it out, man. Just figure it out. You're still on his rookie contract. If they're gonna try to extend him, don't push him out the door. Let the Browns pay a bunch of money for him. You know what I mean? You know they'll pay money for anybody. It doesn't matter what their rap sheet is. So you do that, right? Travis Kelce retires in maybe a year or two, maybe after this year. Who knows? I mean, I'm looking 5 years down the line. I think Cyrus Allen could potentially turn into a number one target.
I like what I saw out of him first preseason game. Yeah, I know, but, I guess on paper.
And what other targets do you have? Tyquan Thornton's not a number one.
Well, yeah. Ideally, you're getting a number one who is a first-round talent, for years to come, who's got the size of a Jamar Chase or shout-out, by the way, former Jayhawk legend.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, Puka Nacua was a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're totally right, and it doesn't have to necessarily be that. But, yeah, he could be. Again, I like him. I like his intangibles.
Well, we saw it live and in person whenever he torched KU.
Yep.
Against Cincinnati, man, that was brutal. Shout out to Jeff Caldwell, by the way. Lindenwood legend. Keegan asks, what fictional character from a movie or TV show would you add to this KU squad
great
for this
question.
year? KU football, I would imagine. Fictional character. Would you go?
I got one.
I'm going to go with Boobie Miles.
Okay.
Friday Night Lights. The movie.
Okay. I'm also going Friday Night Lights, but I'm going the show that we referenced.
Sure.
I want Tim Riggins.
Yeah, Riggo.
I want Tim Riggins because
different styles of running back.
He's kind of got that, he's more of a fullback, stinger back type where he's got that toughness to him, and he just wants to go out there and hit somebody.
Mm.
We talked about the running backs earlier in the show about, pass protection. We'll see how they do. Yasin Willis has a good frame. Jalen Dupree has a good frame. But Riggins has the frame of frames. I mean, he is out there to hit somebody, occasionally hand him the pigskin.
Yeah.
First and goal at the 1 yard line, give him the football. But he just wants to hit somebody, a little bit of a mean streak. I don't think that would be a bad thing.
What about the Incredible Hulk?
He is not a football player.
He's a fictional character from a football movie.
The Incredible Hulk.
Certainly.
What movie was he in?
Did they ever have? I'm trying to think back in all the Avengers movies. Certainly, they had him throwing a football at one point. All right. From a football movie or a TV show. I mean, Matt Saracen was a nice quarterback.
Yeah. Smash Williams, obviously.
Smash Williams.
But how about
Keanu Reeves, who is Tyler? No, not Tyler.
Shane Falco.
I almost said Tyler Palco.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
I knew exactly where you were going.
Oh, that would be so bad. I do not want Tyler Palco. I want Shane Falco.
Yes.
Shane Falco would be good. The Replacements, shout out, great movie. Al Pacino's awesome in that movie. What about Adam Sandler from
Longest Yard? That'd be good.
Yeah.
What about
or Neo? Or was it Neo? It was Neo or Nelly. One of those two guys played the running back.
What about Julius Campbell off the edge? Remember the Titans?
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Man, speaking of R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere, by the way, I think we maybe brought that up, but she was Cheryl Yost.
The little girl.
And remember
Cheryl
the Titans?
Yost, is that right? Yeah.
Man, sad.
I know. This has been a sad week.
Sad stretch, right?
Yeah.
Seems like they happen in threes, and with Tim Curry and Dolly and Hayden.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, man, Julius Campbell, I like that pick. I'm a big Brian song guy, but Gale Sayers was actually in that movie. I mean, it wasn't him, but he was playing Gale Sayers. Right. So
I guess he did say fictional character. So the Friday Night Lights movie was a real movie. So there was actually a guy named Boobie Miles.
Yeah.
But there was not a Tim Riggins. So I like that pick. Mm-hmm. Michael B. Jordan. From the later years of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. Vince Howard.
Is that his name, Vince Howard?
Vince Howard, yeah.
Yeah, so good. I think he was the best of them all.
Good,
it was going to be Jason Street.
Smash Williams was a stud.
Man.
Good for him. Aaron says college football officially kicks off tomorrow with a bunch of D2 games, Hornets up, and FCS games. So he says give us a game or two that people should be paying attention to or watching on Thursday instead of watching week 3 of preseason football. A lot of these games can be found on YouTube, and I found a bunch on ESPN Plus tomorrow. Shout out to Air 4 Ron.
He's a super sleuth when it comes to college football.
I'll let you read these games.
Aaron, college football technically kicked off last week. JUCO. Hutch, they beat somebody like 56-0.
You're like the king of that. You're like, okay, yeah, but football actually kicked off on July 7th. Flag football of the 4th grade Lawrence team over here. They were out there.
This is JUCO football.
I know,
Hutch won the
I'm
national
just saying,
championship
you're
like
always
2
saying,
years
well,
ago.
actually, it's already started, the Hall of Fame game.
Well, actually.
Yes.
Put my games that people should be watching. The number one game, if you're a KU football fan,
Unquestionably. Stony Brook, Delaware State.
I have that written down.
I know.
I have a couple written down. Aaron sent 2, and I agree with him. These are the 2 that you probably should watch. Long Island takes on North Dakota. I looked around. Apparently, Aaron said that you can watch it on ESPN Plus. I really hope that's the case because I looked into it, and I could only find it on like Midco Sports Plus or something like that. So I don't want to pay for that. But Long Island does play Notre Dame, so that's going to be great to scout.
North Dakota.
They play North Dakota. The Eagles, they're green.
Man, if they had to play Notre Dame, that would
Notre
suck.
Dame?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. No, North Dakota. ND. So you should be watching that game just to keep an eye on Long Island, see what kind of stuff that they do, and I'm sure KU is obviously going to be watching that game as well, being tuned in for that, watching a little bit of film, get a little bit of a scout on. That's going to help us for sure because I've looked into it. Not a lot of beat writers covering Long Island football.
No.
So I'm trying to find articles.
I was trying to do that. I was trying to find a guest for the show.
It's impossible. I don't know if there's anybody who knows anything about Long Island football other than the head coach. And like the SID.
Hopefully some of the players.
Yeah, we can get the SID on. So watch the Long Island, oh my gosh, I said Notre Dame again. North Dakota game. A couple of D2 ones. Minnesota Duluth. They are ranked, I think, 14th in the nation right now. They're taking on Slippery Rock, who's always a really good program. That's going to be a Division II game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Aaron also sent in, this is going to be the biggest regular season game of the year. It's Pitt State. They're number 4 in the nation, taking on Ferris State, who's number 1 in the nation. That is kicking off Division II football. That is so much fun. I cannot wait for that game. I'm going to be following it for sure, just seeing how it goes. That's going to be a lot of fun. Emporia State does take on Minot State. Now, the reason you should watch this game is A, Stingers up, and B, Minot State runs a flex bone.
It's always fun.
Oh, it's
like
the best.
The Shawnee Mission Northwest type.
True.
Isn't it Shawnee Mission Northwest that runs it?
Do they run a flex bone?
I think so.
Oh, it's like a true flex bone. It's so good. It's so fun. It's like a wing tee, but like more fun and more running. It's just a beautiful thing. UT Martin, they are ranked and they're taking on Central Arkansas in FCS. Stony Brook takes on Delaware State. You should watch that one because Deshaun Jackson is the head coach at Delaware State. Were you aware of this?
Former Eagle and football team and
Bills?
Bucks. Bills does not sound right. Eagles football team and Bucks.
Sean McCoy.
Definitely sounds right.
Deshaun Jackson.
LaShawn McCoy, also Eagles and Bucks.
Rams. Weird.
Anybody else?
I'm looking. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington football team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Las Vegas Raiders for 9 games.
Tough scene.
And then for 7 games in 2022, he was with the Baltimore Ravens, where all wide receivers go to die.
Yeah.
Now he's a head coach at Delaware State.
How about that?
But there's some interesting games going on tomorrow. But I'm going to be locked into the LIU North Dakota game.
All right. Yeah, that's right. We should have that. Honestly, we should play that over at Johnny's Tavern, West Lawrence.
You should.
Hunter says blind rank these tools. Did he give us some tools?
I have tools. I have tools, and I want you to blind rank them.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah. How many you got? 5?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Wow.
9, 10, 11. Is that right?
Are you kidding me? You have 11, and I'm supposed to blind rank them? Wow.
Yep. Blind ranking 11 tools. Starting off with shovel.
6.
Feels high. I guess you don't know what other
I don't know
tools
what's
are.
on the list.
Okay. You have shovel at 6. Wrench.
5.
6'5" for a wrench.
You don't like that?
Hammer.
I mean, that's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay. 6'5", 4. Oh, sorry. We have 10 because I accidentally. Socket wrench.
That's going to be lower. I don't have the ability to veer too far away from the standards. Give me 8.
Okay. I mean, socket wrench is very high for me. Just because it's, you don't have to.
We've
take it
used
off
those
every
here
time.
before. We used them, I think, when we were hanging the
Yes.
the basketball hoop.
You're going 8 for socket wrench. Drill.
I mean, I'm going 1.
Yeah.
I think
there
I
you
have
go.
to,
You
right?
got to go 1 for drill.
Yeah.
Because, you can have a socket wrench, but then if you have the right attachment, you use the drill as a socket wrench.
Yeah,
You don't even have to crank. You just go wham like that. It's great.
I mean, just the versatility of it.
Yeah, versatile. It really, it's a do-it-all kind of thing. It's
is.
kind of like a Devin Neal, if you will. Sledgehammer.
I mean, they're fun, but how often are you actually using them if you're
Right.
guys like me or you?
Yeah.
Give me 9.
Okay. 9 for sledgehammer.
But they're the best thing when you want to just hit the crap out of something.
So that's the thing. In Carbondale, this is how redneck of a town I grew up in. For the Carbondale Fair, every year they would have an old car, and you could pay $5 for 10 swings on a car.
Totally
and you
worth
could just
it.
beat
Yeah.
the hell out of this
Right,
car.
right.
It was amazing, dude. Oh, it was so much fun. Screwdriver.
Screwdriver solid. What do I have left?
You have 2, 3, 7, and 10.
I mean, given the fact that, again, there's a decent amount of versatility with that, I'm going 2.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy at all. I do
You got
not
Phillips,
think
you
you're
got a
crazy at all.
flathead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Star,
like
yeah.
that's like the one. I mean, a drill with nowadays with all the attachments you can add on drills, it's as versatile as it gets.
Yeah.
But if you need a tool to just fix something quick, it's almost always one of those screwdrivers.
Yeah, I agree. Crescent wrench, the one with the little thing and it slowly goes out.
Yeah. Throw it at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 for crescent wrench. Okay, so you have,
I have
3 and 10 left.
3 and 10. Boy.
Saw.
Like a handsaw.
Mm-hmm. You have 3 and 10 left.
I'm going 3.
Okay.
I don't want to put it at 10.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Number 10, a hoe.
I'm comfortable with that.
That's fine.
I'm comfortable with
that. This is a good.
That's a decent list.
I think socket wrench was a little low for me.
That's fair.
That's like my only.
But hey, blind
gripe.
ranking, man, I'll take it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Roll
Man.
through it really quick.
So you have at 10, you have a hoe, 9 sledgehammer, 8 socket wrench, 7 crescent wrench, 6 shovel. I think shovel should
high.
be
Shovel should be lower. Yeah.
5 regular wrench, 4 hammer, 3 saw, 2 screwdriver, and 1 drill. Easy money.
That's not bad.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Good question, Hunter.
Fine.
That was fun.
And it's a blind ranking too. So
Yeah.
that's fair. Cole, he wants to know if all of the college football teams in Kansas pooled together their rosters, would they have a national championship caliber team?
Okay, so who are you taking from Wichita State?
Oh man.
See, I don't know enough about the MIAA, man. So you feel free to.
Washburn is going to be really bad this year. And I'm not just saying that because I hate them. I do hate them. I hate them so much. But they are going to be really bad this year. They don't have any redeeming qualities of any players. Emporia State, realistically, you're taking one guy, and it's Landon Boss. Landon Boss was an All-American who, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not. I don't care. I'll say it. Whatever. He was offered like $250,000 to transfer from Emporia State to K-State. But he decided to stick at Emporia State. Because why would you want to go to Manhattan? You know what I mean? Get it, it's money. But he turned that down. I think Emporia State managed to scrounge up. But he was an All-American linebacker, going to be a monster. And I think that he's got like true like CFL, maybe get a cup of coffee in the NFL, maybe get a mini camp invite, that kind of thing. Grew up in Osage City. Shout out to Landon Boss. Shout out to Lucas Boss, former teacher of mine. Shout out to Kate Boss, also former teacher of mine.
Shout out to Winter, by the way.
Shout out to Winter, by the way. Let's see, Fort Hays. I don't know a lot about Fort Hays. I know Pitt State has some really nice receivers and they have a really good defense. So maybe you're pulling like one guy from Emporia State, maybe like 2 or 3 guys from Pitt State, maybe a guy from Fort Hays, and then really the big one is K-State and KU, right? So like you're probably – and this is going to lead me into just making me say some stuff. But I think you go Avery Johnson as quarterback over Ballard and Marshall just because you don't know who it's going to be, and Avery Johnson has more experience, right? You're probably going with, Dylan Edwards and Yasin Willis as your running backs, although Joe Jackson is a really good running back. You have some good wide receivers. I think K-State maybe has a little bit better
K-State's got
interior defensive linemen.
They've got the edge at tight end also.
Yeah.
Because we have the unknown. We have a good room, but they've got Garrett Oakley.
Right, and Lincoln Cure behind him. But Lincoln Cure hasn't really done anything. I think, like, corners, you're probably going to take Jalen Todd and then, like, one corner from K-State. You're probably going to take
probably
Taylor.
kind of a wash and safety, too. You
wash
probably
and
take
safety.
But, we don't know. I mean, there's so many. You really don't know for any of these teams.
If they still had
We've
Austin
got
Romaine,
Corey
that'd be
Gordon,
crazy,
Christian
though.
Pritchett. We don't know.
Okay, so here's the question, though. Would they have a national championship caliber team? If you
I'm gonna
combine
say
KU,
yes.
K-State.
I'm going to say yes, but I don't even need any of the other schools. Just give me Kansas.
Come on.
Is that the homer answer you needed?
Come on. That's what I needed. Last one here. K. Najee, he says, who on the basketball team do you think would be able to transition to football the easiest? Tyron Stokes. Because of the fact he played high school football.
He's also 6'8". And
Did he play wide receiver? Or I think he was a wide receiver. And he was a really damn good football player. Ooh, Jaden Nickens.
Cole Rosario. He's got the.
You think Cole could do it?
I think he could do it. He's got the frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Good question.
I still think it's going to be Tyron. Because Tyron played. I don't think
Probably
Rosario played
is.
high school football.
You got Tay Kenny's speed. You got the build of Rosario. Yeah, good options. Hey,
Give
great
me
questions
Paul
today.
and Bia on some corner routes.
Give me Christian Reeves on some fades.
Oh, Keanu.
You like that?
Keanu Dawes.
You like it? Not Keanu Reeves. Man, are you going to struggle with that all year?
You say
Good
Christian
God.
Reeves. Keanu Dawes, I think, would be a nasty tight end.
How would how would Keanu Reeves do?
Keanu Reeves, well, I mean, he's Shane Falco.
Yeah, that's right.
He'd be a good quarterback.
That's right. Good stuff. Thanks, everybody, for sending in those questions for our KU Mailbag segment. We're going to hear from a quartet of KU football players after this. ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Crown Automotive, our founding partners here at Kansas Nation. Want to shout out Miles Schneier, who was the Lawrence Citizen of the Year back in 2025. He's got a great sales and service staff over there. If you're here local in Lawrence, check them out on South Iowa in Lawrence, or again, crownautomotive.com. They've got great deals. They've got great options for you, fantastic financing options if that's something that you need for a new vehicle. They've got a good used lot as well if you are looking for a used vehicle. Crown Automotive. All right, let's go back to the KU football indoor practice facility. We're going to hear from 4 Jayhawks here. First, it's going to be wide receiver Cam Pickett. Following Cam will be Chase Jenkins, KU's third-string quarterback, the transfer from Rice. Offensive tackle transfer from Cal, Nick Morrow, and then the transfer from UAB, who should be a force up front defensively, Biggie Smalls. I almost said Eamon Biggie. We'll just call him Biggie Smalls.
Eamon
Biggie Smalls. Pickett, Jenkins, Morrow, and Smalls here from KU Football Media Day.
Not being fully a go the last few days?
You always want to be out there practicing, but just being smart, just getting ready for game day.
So not super worried about it. Okay, that's all I wanted.
Talk to me about the chemistry that you've built over this fall camp with the 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, both guys vying for that competition, but talk to me about, I guess, the chemistry you built with both of them.
It's been great. Just really getting to learn them, as people, just more personally over the last 8 months now. And we've been working a lot since January. We all have a good rhythm with each other, good rhythm with both quarterbacks. So I'm just excited.
What's something that you've been working on in the spring and this off season to take your game to that next level? Is there something in particular that comes to mind?
I spend a lot of time in the slot, and so really just working on being efficient with second level releases, getting around a DB quick, and so I can get back vertical and win my routes with speed.
With Andy Kotelnicki being at the helm, obviously likes to do a lot of creative stuff. I mean, talk to me about playing in that kind of system with Andy Kotelnicki and how he can utilize you.
It's going to be fun. Kind of like you said, we got a lot of different ways to get our athletes the ball, get us the ball in space, find mismatches with the defense, be able to attack and exploit those. And I think it's just be really fun. We're going to have a really dynamic offense.
Are there any DBs on the other side of the ball on this squad that you like going up against? I mean, any battles that you have against any of those DBs?
Really, the whole DB room is evolving. From spring ball to now, I've seen they've grown a lot, and so it's been a really fun and competitive during fall camp. But in particular, J. Todd, anytime I line up outside, get a chance to go against him is always fun. I line up against Corey Gordon a lot. He plays safety. He's been challenging. I got a lot of good battles with him too. So.
For sure. And in terms of your footwork and your speed, and we've heard from Coach Gildersleeve talking about how everyone's gotten faster, everyone's gotten stronger, in the weight room, different things like that. I mean, have you seen that in particular with you and also the wide receiver room?
Yeah, we've grown a lot. We got a lot bigger, a lot stronger and faster. I forgot exactly what it was, but he showed us the numbers, and we got a lot more athletic just as a room. And personally, I feel like I just move a little bit more efficiently now, and so I think my routes will be a lot more fluid this year.
Talking about two guys on the outside, you were sitting next to one of them, Najee Cox and Nick McMillan. I mean, what are you seeing out of those guys, big bodies, playmakers?
Yeah, they're going to be really good for our offense. Like you said, Naj, he, big guy, go up and get it. He's very physical, and Nick is a very smooth receiver as well. He got really good hands, run good routes, so we have really good room.
Has anybody ever brought up to you that you scored the first 2 touchdowns at the booth? And I mean, how do you, how does that make you feel? And then also seeing the construction continue on that east side. I mean, just talk to me about the facilities and the investment going in KU football.
It's just, I feel like it gives us more fuel. We see the work that's being done by the university and by all the construction workers. And so it's our job to, put the product out there for people to pack it up.
What can KU fans expect out of Camp Pickett this year?
A lot of big plays. A lot of big plays, a lot of touchdowns.
Cam, good luck this year.
Thank you.
All right, Chase, just kind of talk about fall camp. You're here now. You guys got a great group in the quarterback room. How's everything been going?
Everything's been going great. Getting towards the end of camp right now. I feel like fall camp's been going great. Everybody in the room has been doing well. Cole, Marshall, Jalen, Connor, everybody, Brayden, everybody's been having a great camp.
For sure.
Yeah.
We obviously saw what you did at Rice. What do you think is your best trait as a quarterback, and how you think you can help this team?
I'll probably say my ability, improv, like off-platform stuff, or just in general, between stuff that's off schedule, the plays, when they break down, stuff like that, ability to improv and move around after that.
You have a comp at the NFL, somebody you model your game off, anything like that?
I usually let other people say what a comp is like that. I've heard certain players and stuff like that, but
yeah.
I don't really compare myself to anybody.
You said improv, so I immediately thought Mahomes. I'm like, might as well ask that. Just kind of talk about, in general, it seems like you guys, every position group, there's so much internal competition going on, and we know that's what makes a good team, right? People pushing other people. What have you seen either with the quarterbacks or any other position group that makes you think this team's going to have a lot of success?
Yeah, just the talent and depth between each position group, but also the celebration of other people's success as well. Even though people are competing and stuff like that, I feel like something that that stuck out to me when I got here. Just everybody celebrates everybody's success. If somebody does well, they're gonna big them up and do their thing. Somebody else does well, do the same thing. There's it's just been great. It's a great camaraderie to see, and I think that's what makes the team strong. You got talent around, and it flows through and through the depth of the team, and then everybody's able to appreciate everybody's success. So I think that's good.
I think I heard, and it might have been from J. Todd, that J. Todd's 22.7. Are you going to be on his tail with speed, or where do you think? Because obviously we've seen that on the field in previous stops.
Nah, J. Todd fast. I'm pretty fast too.
Yeah.
But J. Todd fast too. I get it. Yeah, 22.7. That's crazy.
You caught any passes in your time in college or high school?
I grew up playing everything but quarterback until 10th grade. So
okay.
even in my my freshman year at Rice, I was playing receiver. I was hurt, so I missed most of the season, so I wasn't able to chance to like really play. I missed most of the season, but yeah, I grew up playing everything else, and I started playing quarterback in 10th grade. And, I'm 1 year out of college, so my 3 I played receiver.
Have you been to Europe before?
So yeah, I haven't been out of the only time I've been out of the country. I've been
so down to earth, a family man.
One time. I was a little bit younger. I went on a cruise. That was it. But other than that, I haven't been out of the country.
You a good flyer? You can be good on that front?
Yeah, I'm gonna be sweet.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
or throwing something on. But I'm trying to. As soon as we get up, I'm good. As long as we chill out, and after that 9 hours.
For sure. Yeah, there was some Dramamine talk over there. Last thing for me, Coach K's offense. I mean, what's that like as a quarterback? And we've seen it here at Kansas before, but do you go home and your brain hurts at night sometimes, or how's that adjustment going?
Every time I see him, I'm amazed. You know, the creativity and like you can see, like obviously the over the past years, explosiveness out of each play. You know, and then plays after being called. But
feeling like I can.
Yeah, it's like a pro, kind of like NFL style. But you know, I'm kind of used to that. I did that my true freshman year when I played at Rice. So it's been great though.
All right, Nick, just kind of talk about where you're at right now, fall camp. You think, I guess, start as a team. You guys have been grinding pretty hard for a few weeks here.
Yeah, I mean, camp. It's been a good time. Obviously challenging. It's been good being with the guys so much. Really getting to like come together even more as a team, and just refining everything that we've been doing in the summer and in the winter, just all the work that we put in, really getting to like refine it and get it ready for the season.
I know it's fun for fans to kind of just speculate on stuff, but it seems like a common theme has been internal competition and offensive lines right there in the middle of it. What's it been like? What have you seen? Maybe some skill sets, not only of your own, but some of the guys who are going to be out there.
I think there's a lot of different skill sets in the room, but I just think overall, like everybody. Trying to think of like how I'm trying to say it. Everybody's just focused on getting like their job done, and I mean there's a lot of just strain and effort throughout the room. That's something that we've been really focused on and trying to get going.
Coach A and Coach Leipold and Coach K too, they all talk about the importance of versatility on the offensive line, and they want the best 5 out there, and then if one guy goes down, it's got to be the next best 5 and all that. Just kind of in terms of versatility, moving around as needed, how comfortable are you on that front, and have you had a lot of coaches with that mindset, or do you have coaches sometimes that stick to this dude's a tackle, this dude's a guard, etc.?
I think for the most part, I've really had coaches that are just, we got to get the best guys in there, even if that's, if somebody goes down, maybe bumping a guard to tackle or vice versa. I'm pretty comfortable playing both sides at tackle. I haven't played guard a bunch or practiced it, but if that was something that I had to do, I would attack it and just try and make the most out of it.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys have been grinding really hard. I know next week you're going to start a kind of game week type schedule. Are you excited for that? Like, are the juices flowing right now for getting out there first couple Fridays?
Yeah, definitely. We've had our last few practices. We've been in the stadium as well, and that's just been my first chance, even though it's not all the way finished, to just kind of see that and just experience kind of what it feels like to be in there. So I'm really excited just for week 1 to see all the fans in there and just get to play here for the first time.
I don't think I've talked to you since you chose Kansas. What was that decision like for you, and how'd you settle on being a Jayhawk?
Just through talking, obviously talked to a good amount of people in the portal, but Coach A really stuck out. He just felt like a genuine guy, and I mean, once I got here on a visit, it was almost a no-brainer for me. I love the town, love the city, everything. It just feels like my hometown a little bit, and I'm just felt comfortable here. Got to see the stadium and everything on my visit. Obviously, beautiful facilities and everything like that, and it just made a lot of sense.
All right, but you just kind of talk about how fall camp's going together, right? Your excitement for getting this thing started.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go. That's all. I kind of just been last phase of camp is coming up, so we're getting ready to wrap that up, and now it's getting ready for LIU. That's what I'm looking forward to.
How about hitting somebody else? You talked about violence being your number one thing. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, it's so crazy. I'm looking forward to it so much.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a part of the game. As a D lineman, I feel like that's one of the things that you should love doing.
motivate people. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
For sure. There's been a lot of talk. I mean, so many of the games Kansas has played the last couple of years have been one-possession games, and there's a lot of how are we going to improve the turnovers, and so often those questions are geared toward like the secondary, right? But what can you guys do up front to kind of cause havoc, make the opposition uncomfortable, and get them to make mistakes?
Well, first we just want to do our job. So first we're going to do our job, and by doing our job, that's going to take us to the plays. Stopping the run. You know what I'm saying? Like just having good gap integrity, stuff like that. Like do your job, and as a D lineman, like some people don't realize, like it's just it's like the importance of doing your job, and just doing the little stuff literally help your team out a lot.
How about different looks that you guys can show up front? We know Coach DK likes to switch it up, and you're primarily a nose, I'm sure, but 4-man front, like comfortable and all that. Do you have a preference?
Most definitely. So at my previous school, we did a lot of 4-man, and we actually slid the front. So sometimes I'll be at 3. So just doing that, it was kind of like a perfect switch, because I was already used to doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of talk about some of your teammates up front too. Like, what are some different things that they bring to the table? Obviously, your big thing is to move somebody and try to get to the backfield, cause some havoc, get in the gaps, that sort of thing. But how about Blake, Marcus, some of these other guys?
Man, I love those guys. Man, they are twitchy, athletic, fast, and they could do it all. Literally, like they could literally do it all. They could beat you with the counter. They could do all type of things. So I'm really looking forward to playing with those guys and shit, making a better improvement to this defense along with those guys, because they are some dogs.
Yeah, you guys had a chance to practice at the stadium. What was that like? And kind of imagining, a night game out there. What's the excitement level on that?
I loved it, man. I loved the atmosphere. Of course, it would have been nice if we had. Of course, it'd be nice if we had some fans out there. To really get that atmosphere going. But other than that, man, I loved it, and I loved the atmosphere. And it kind of, man, I'm just like I'm out there, and I'm like, man, like I'm in my game zone, like I'm ready to hit some. So.
For sure. I asked somebody else this earlier. It's kind of silly. Do you prefer morning games or night games? Are you like a wake up, get after it? Or?
Me, honestly, you put the ball down and I'm just ready to play. But if you was asking me, I do like night games a lot better because of the atmosphere.
The lights, yeah, for sure. Are you excited to go to Europe?
Of course.
You ever been?
My first time going. Actually, it's my first time really going overseas, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry.
I didn't know. No, you're good.
How you doing, Eamon?
Yeah, good to meet you. I'm Nick.
Nice to meet you.
Even from your first day you stepped on campus to now, what would you say is the area you've grown the most in, or taken the biggest steps forward since that?
Just grown more in my details and how to play the position, and just learning more about the defense, and just learning more about defenses, and not just the front five, not just the D line, but also learning what the secondary do and why they do it. Like why double teams would come off faster, like why double teams would stay on, longer. So.
Is there a particular spot that you like playing along the line, whether it's kind of more nose or in a different technique? Is there a spot that you feel like you're the best at, or you like the most?
No, not particularly. I just love to play ball. So wherever I'm lined up, man, I'm just ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. What have you seen from some of the other guys in the defensive tackle room? Just what they've shown, and maybe how they've helped you grow as well.
Most definitely. Well, Blade, Marcus, Kevin, Otis, Trayvon, everybody. Like they've been such even mentors to me. Because one thing about this game, you can never know too much. Always take the little details from every other guy, and they've helped me so much, and I just love watching them. I just love watching them. Like they are very athletic and like really gets after it. So.
Do you guys like maybe do stuff outside of football, off the field, to kind of help with chemistry or bonding or things like that?
Most definitely. We'll go fishing, bowling, stuff like that. Maybe cook at a house. Have some food, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go to coach house. Do a little bit of Bible study sometimes. So.
Oh, there you go. Are you a good bowler?
Honestly, I'm here and there. I try to muscle it. Every time, and sometimes it'll go left, sometimes it'll go right. So I'm all right.
It may seem kind of like a silly question, but I mean, do you think that kind of stuff really helps when you're out there on the field? The out the field stuff, does that help with you guys when you're out there together?
Oh, most definitely. Chemistry is everything. I feel like chemistry is everything, and that's why we're so close, because like we hang out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good to know. It's good to know your guy who you're playing next to, because like sometimes when you need them to pick it up, sometimes you getting on them out of love, and it's important when it's out of love, and it's not like as a stranger coming to you. So that's why I feel like it's really
needed, chemistry.
You're a big individual, obviously. Do you know what's the heaviest you've ever played at, or where you're at now?
The heaviest I've ever played at was 340, and that was in high school. And I do not want to get back there.
Okay, so what are you at now?
Right now I'm at 320.
Okay.
And that's always, and since I've been to college, that's always kind of been my play weight, 320, 315.
Yeah.
How would you describe Coach Panagos?
I love him. I feel like a guy that coaches hard, loves his players for sure, and gets you going for sure. Like gets you ready to run through a brick wall, man. I love that guy.
Yeah. And then last thing for me here, but Trey is, I'm sure, kind of looked at as the quarterback of the defense. How have you seen him kind of grow, even from spring to now as a leader? Because he came back and he's going to be heavily relied upon and kind of lead the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, from day one since I've been here, Trey's always been a phenomenal leader. Always been very vocal and stuff like that. Very vocal to his D lineman. Definitely express his love. Definitely express his love for us. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he make his job easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's always been a leader. Always been a voice. I hear him every day. You know what I'm saying? That's my linebacker. That's my guy. That's my quarterback.
That's KU players at KU Football Media Day last week. We talk a lot about the law firm of Withers and Dunn moving on. KU up front, Dan, is also losing one of my favorite guys who I think probably has a similar personality to Biggie Smalls, and Keenan Caldwell.
Yeah.
He was here for 5 years, had a great sit-down with Emma Hale on J-School Jayhawks. It was Keenan Caldwell, in fact.
Not Keenan Allen.
But shout out to all those guys who helped us out last year. Dean Miller as well, former Jayhawk. He had a sit-down with Emma Noble on
Miller.
J-School Jayhawks.
He's been do you want to talk about that?
You can bring it up. We were talking about it.
Maybe we'll
He's
talk
not
about
getting
it.
another year, but UCF wanted to pay the
Maybe
man.
we'll talk about it tomorrow. This is from Ross Dellinger. So this actually just happened yesterday. An Orange County, Florida Circuit Court judge denied former Kansas defensive end Dean Miller's request for a temporary injunction against the NCAA that would have allowed him an additional year of eligibility. Miller was seeking to play for UCF this upcoming season. He has been since denied, which is sad because I have no ill will against Dean Miller. I mean, he obviously it's essentially what. Remember, Zeke Mayo tried to do this, right? Where Zeke Mayo, you dropped your phone.
Drop your phone.
Zeke Mayo had exhausted his eligibility. Right. And was like, you know what? Just in case something happens, I'm gonna enter the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Just in case, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff had started coming on, and Dean Miller's like, oh, I have an opportunity. I'm in the transfer portal right now. I have an opportunity, and then UCF reached out to him and said, hey, we'll offer you $300,000
crazy
to come down to Orlando. And Dean Miller said, absolutely, I'll do that.
Right.
And then literally August 26th, UCF's first game, I would assume is September 5th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's brutal. Thursday, September 3rd.
He probably knew it was a long shot, but just about a week out of UCF.
Just about a week out. Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
that's unfortunate for him.
A word, though, really quick, as I pick up a pen. We don't usually have a pen there, so I guess I'm holding this pen now.
I'll
I wanted to ask, though, about KU losing those three guys up front. You also don't have Trayvon McAlpine, so a lot's going to be asked from Biggie Smalls, and he seems like somebody that we're going to enjoy talking to throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's talking about a guy with a great personality. I mean, you kind of heard it there, but you brought in Trayvon McAlpine thinking that he's going to be the number one guy. He had legit all Big 12 caliber stats coming in from last year from Tulane, played in the college football playoff. Had massive size for him, so you felt great about that. You also brought in some other guys. You brought in Jayton Adkins from Coffeyville Community College, Jabril Conde from Grand Valley State, but those are at the lower level, right? You're bringing in two guys who played at the G5 level in Eamon Biggie Smalls and Trayvon McAlpine, thinking those are going to be really your two guys that are going to be right next to Blake Harold, and then Trayvon McAlpine goes down with an ACL, as I believe is what it was. So I would imagine he's going to be, he is coming back next year. Already filed all the waivers and all these different things. Already signed all the paperwork. But I think Eamon Smalls is going to be that number one guy that we're going to see. There is Marcus Calvin, too, which is interesting. I think you're going to see a lot of rotation out of those guys. That's typically what happens whenever you have interior defensive linemen like that, especially when you have, large number fronts of those guys, because we're going to be seeing guys with five down linemen, 4 down linemen, whatever you want to see, whatever you want to say about that. If you have 5 down linemen, I mean, Eamon Biggie Smalls is going to be getting the majority of the snaps, and he's a massive human being, 6'2", 335 pounds. I mean, the dude is a monster, and he had 50 tackles last year, 3.5 TFLs. He had a sack, 1 QB hurry. He had 7 tackles against Tennessee last year. That was a career high for him. So not only has he proven it in college football, but he's proven it at a higher level too, playing against a Tennessee offensive line, getting 7 tackles. I mean, that's pretty dang impressive.
Really impressive for essentially a nose tackle. And, yeah,
right.
KU should have some good options rotationally, even without McAlpine. Of course, Blake Harold in the middle as well. More coming up here on Rock Chalk Sports. Thanks for listening on ESPN Kansas City and watching KansasNation.com. Well, we got so excited talking about Biggie Smalls, we ran out of time here on Rock Chalk Sports. Want to appreciate everybody who's watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Find us on socials at the Kansas Nation, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Kansas Nation on Facebook. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow from 4 to 6, and, of course, Friday as well. Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, and KansasNation.com.